Thank you all for watching this amazing Changemaker series film. I want to thank all the sponsors of the Changemaker series for making the Changemaker series absolutely free for everybody to watch. Thank you also for joining us for a small post-film discussion. I'm currently joined by Michelle Schnitker, the Housing Supervisor and Deputy Community Development Director of the City of St. Louis Park. Michelle, thank you for joining us today. Would you mind telling us your role with the City of St. Louis Park?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Michelle Schnitker. I'm the Deputy CD Director at the City of St. Louis Park, and I'm also the Housing Supervisor. So I oversee the housing programs at St. Louis Park that we administer, both city-funded programs and also programs funded through the state or federal rental assistance programs.
What factors shape the conversation around affordability in your perspective and in your industry?
Well, things have changed over the years. I've been in the affordable housing industry, working in that area for like 36 years, a long time. There's always been a need for affordable housing. The public reaction to affordable housing has changed over the years. And I think especially recently, in the last few years, we've seen where housing costs are rising higher than household incomes. So that's created an issue for people to be able to afford housing. And also, with the recent COVID pandemic has really brought housing and affordable housing and the stability of having housing to a forefront. And the good news is there's a lot more attention on affordable housing. There's a lot more, it seems like, effort and funding that is going into affordable housing. Is it enough? No. But at least it seems that the recognition of the need for affordable housing is there.
Is there a standard? Like, what qualifies as not affordable?
Well, kind of the standard affordability is that if you pay more than 30% of your income for housing costs, and that's not just rent, it's in all costs related to housing if you have to pay for utilities, that you're rent burdened or your housing burden, that you're paying too much. Reality is that many people pay more than 30% of their income towards their housing costs. And the other standard that's used in the affordable housing industry is the area median income. We use area median income to determine if a rent is affordable. And typically we say it has to be affordable either at 60% area median income or 50% median area income or 30%. And 30% is the income level that it's difficult to reach. It's really reaching, it's providing housing affordable to those individuals that were really at the lowest income level. Rents at 60% and 50%, most people would be surprised they exceed many people's house payments. So even though they are affordable under the standards and the rents are restricted, which is good, they aren't affordable to a lot of households.
What is the City of St. Louis Park doing when it comes to affordability? What are some of the initiatives that you guys have? And I know you mentioned you also manage some federal funds as well.
That's correct. St. Louis Park has a history of really being in the forefront in affordable housing, even back in the 70s. The city leaders recognized a need to try and invest in affordable housing to address the issues in the community. And they started implementation or administration of the federal rental assistance programs, both public housing program where we own and manage properties, and then also the Housing Choice Voucher program, which provides rental assistance for households that rent in private apartments and rental units. So that goes back all the way to the 70s. In more recent years, we've made affordable housing as one of our strategic priorities in the community and one of our goals. And I think we have the political will, the community support, and our management leaders have also really contributed to making addressing affordable housing an important role in our community to do at the local level. And so we've created programs that create, preserve, and also programs that provide tenant protection. And one of the programs that has been most impactful is our inclusionary housing policy, and that applies to any new multifamily rental residential properties that are being built in the community. They have to include a percentage of affordable units, and it depends on what level the affordability is at, how many of the units they include. But because St. Louis Park is such a desirable place to live, and developers want to build multifamily properties in our community, we have the light rail that's going to be coming through, and that's generating more interest and more projects. Having that requirement is ensuring that every new building that comes into our community is going to include affordable units.
You talked about city leadership and policymakers who are doing just great work, and we're actually recognizing a state level St. Louis Park resident this year with our Changemaker Award, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, who lives in St. Louis Park pretty much all of her life, and her family used the SNAP programs or the food stamp programs, as well as the assisted living to, again, get through. So I'm glad we have great leaders who are kind of pushing it through. What can your community, what can the city of St. Louis Park, people who are watching this from all across the state perhaps, what can they do specifically or in general to help their community leaders, their policymakers to continue to push on affordability?
Well, I think it's important for community members to support those actions, because the policymakers in the community are going to listen. And although we're fortunate, we have policymakers who really value affordable housing and are trying to promote it. That's not the case in every community. So having that support from the community is really helpful. And I think, as you know, we can't always look to the state and to the federal government to solve every problem. Affordable housing is something that can be done on a local level, collaborating with private developers, nonprofits, the affordable housing developers, and really trying to address issues in the community. And also, if a community has the ability to provide financial resources, so actually commit financial resources to address some of these issues, that's helpful too.
This has been an enlightening conversation. I could talk to you for hours about what else we could do, what is being done in the affordability space. Thank you so much for being a partner of the Twin Cities Film Fest.
Sure.
Stay safe, be well, and here's to seeing you at the festival.